Demetrius, this is the first podcast ever. Are you ready?
I was born ready.
That's what I love.
You already know I was born ready.
That's what I love to hear.
I see you're all in though.
I'm all in. Hi, my name is Michael Gabriel, and I help build businesses. I've been an entrepreneur for over a decade. I've been featured in CEO Magazine and been nominated Entrepreneur of the Year. But you know what? None of that meant anything because I was still broke and I still struggled. It wasn't until I found a mentor and a support group that guided me through the right path, and then things turned around. And now I'm here to share with you the things that I've learned and to let you know you don't have to do it alone. Welcome to the Mastermind Marketing Podcast. All right, so for the people who don't know what you just said, right? I'm wearing a shirt, and the reason why I put this shirt on that says I'm all in because it's like it's like Superman's cape, right? So I'm Clark Kent during the day, but already I'm ready to turn it on. I put on my cape, and I become a new crusader.
No, I like that analogy.
It's good, man. You know, so it's like, you know, that's part of this. So,
what are we talking about today is what I want to know.
Well, first of all, who are you, right? So I'm Michael Gabriel, and I've been an entrepreneur for over a decade. And, you know, what I've realized is that becoming a business owner, becoming an entrepreneur, it's a lifestyle change.
It is.
It's not just one area of your life. It affects all areas of your life.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we wanted this podcast to be, right?
Yeah.
It's not just entrepreneurship. It's not just marketing. It's not just sales. It's everything. Like, how does a businessman handle,
the balance of life?
Oh, I know. And who knows that better than you, right? So Demetrius has 2 kids. He's, been married, been in the entrepreneur game like solo for 4 or 5 years ish, so it's like you've gotten to see the ups and downs, and we've been through that both, business partners, friends, all that, like, the good times and the bad times. That's what's great.
Yeah. No, I agree with you.
Yeah. So on that note, I think what kind of shifted my mindset was I was having a conversation with my friend Donnie, and he's going to go crazy because I named him in this thing, right? So he wants to be on a podcast. He wants a platform. That's what it is, right? So me and Donnie were talking, and he was saying like, hey, Mike, you are a good person. Like, deep down, I know you're a good person, but sometimes your intentions, you have bad intentions. Now, taking feedback and reflecting on them, I'm always thinking like, wait, hold on, I got bad intentions. What do you mean?
What's fighting words, man?
Yeah, that's pretty strong, brother. But, as I think about it, I wanted to tell this quick story. I remember, I grabbed, it was like, I want to say in the summertime, maybe spring. It was like shifting from winter to spring. It's a time where you can like take off a jacket and wear a t-shirt, but it wasn't like super hot, right? I wasn't wearing shorts. And I want to say I owed this guy some money. His name is Jimmy Petrozello. And it's not that I owed him money, but he like worked for me, so I had to pay him. And I called him up. I said, Jimmy, I was like, let's get together because I want to do something with you. And I think you're going to like it. It's going to change your life. And so he's like, all right, I'm down. I got my girlfriend with me. He's like, let's meet up because I need the money anyways. I said, I got you. And I called up my cousin, Matt, and I did the same thing. I said, Matt, I want you to come with me. And, I've never done this before. Like, I can't tell you what we're doing because it's a secret, but I think it's going to change your life. So I picked them all up in my car, and I remember I had a Honda Accord because I love Honda Accords. And I had super dark tinted windows. And the problem with that type of tint of windows is like at night, you can't see out, right? So I always had to unroll the window. Even during the day, I felt like I had to unroll the window a little bit so I could see. So I remember picking them up in the car, and no one really could see us. And I went to I don't even like to call it a ghetto, but like just the area that like that wasn't
inner city area,
poverty, right?
Yeah.
And
they exist,
right? But I guess I don't like to give like those type of, I don't like to give that word power, because it just has a negative connotation.
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. So
I picked them up, and I take them to the inner city, and I said, all right, we're going to do something today that's going to shock the world. And they still didn't know. So I pulled, it was Clark. I remember Clark Avenue. There was a Dave's grocery
supermarket.
Store. Yeah, supermarket. So I pull in, and they're like, what are we doing? I said, listen, we're going to shut down this grocery store, and we're going to pay for everybody's bill. Now, what I didn't realize, how much money did I have on me? I really don't even know. It was less than 10 grand. Might have been around 5. I don't even remember, but I had a lot of money on me, and I was willing to do that. And so we go inside, and I give Matt like 1,000. I give Petro 1,000. I give his girlfriend 1,000. I said, listen, because I didn't want to do it. I was like nervous, embarrassed. I don't know. I said, we're just going to stop the line. Like there's like 5 lines open. I said, we're just going to go. We're going to just pay for everybody's groceries until we're out of money. And it was crazy because like everybody thought we were nuts. And the other part of it was it had to be close to like the 1st or the 15th, because these people's freaking carts were packed.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm thinking? Like
someone probably had 2 carts.
Oh man, I believe that. And I said, I don't care what it is, just pay for it. And we literally like stopped the whole row of people, and everybody, there was people crying. I remember like, both Matt and Jimmy, they were like, I can't believe we're doing this. And like they were getting hugs, and people were just saying thank you. And to bring this full circle, when I did that, I don't even remember if there was Facebook or not Facebook. I want to say no, but I didn't do it to show off. I did it because I knew like there was people out there with needs, and I wanted to help people that day. And as we were walking out, I still maybe had like $100 on me or something. And we heard this girl talking to this other lady, and she was just saying how like, she's like, you see, God is good. You get blessed. And it was the best feeling. And I was like, look, man, just take the rest of it. And it was changed. At that point, it was dollars because we were spending cash there. But like, and now I understand the power of like, if you want to call it law of attraction or whatever, karma, whatever it is. And like, I know that I get back tenfold. Like I understand that completely. But like, I never have ever given to expect anything back. Like those people were not giving me anything. I didn't expect, and on top of it, like I didn't expect to be blessed with all this stuff. Like I didn't care. My intentions were to give and to serve. And it's great because, that probably happened 8-10 years ago, maybe even longer. And to this day, Matt and I call him Petro, they still talk about it. Like, do you remember when we did this? So many people loved us. And shifting over this to business, for me, like even starting a business, it's like, well, man, I want big cars and, or big houses and nice. I want a Tesla. I want the Model S, 75K or whatever, the 100K drives by itself. I want all these things. And I think like when I heard Donnie tell me like, I'm a good person, but sometimes my intentions are bad, I thought like, how do I switch that to help me like not be think that I want, I don't know how to say that right, but like, I don't want to have that type of intention. And we talked about that briefly. And I think that was like a total mind shift for me, because then it was like, all right, forget about how do I make as much money as possible. It was more like, how do I serve? Because the money will come, right? I think like, go ahead.
I think I was going to say, I think part of the challenge is for a lot of entrepreneurs or people who are ambitious, and I would throw myself into this pot, is that we all understand that money is an important tool, especially in America, especially if you have a family. You start thinking about leaving something behind for the legacy after you and all this stuff. Like, you know that money is important. And I think sometimes there's this weird relationship of like, where do you start? Do you like, what pushes you? Is it the like you said, the Tesla? And I mean, I just watched the release video on YouTube of the new Tesla, the new one, the Y.
The Model Y. Oh man, I was like, I want it.
I said, I want that. You know, so I don't think that it's a problem to want things, but like you're saying, I think when you think about longevity, when you think about being able to go anywhere and do business anywhere, and you know that like your focus is serving people, it's like there's this new concept I've heard where it's like, I want to be a millionaire. And it was like, I want to help 1 million people with whatever it is I do. Yeah. And if you become a millionaire and that has nothing to do with the money, it's helping 1 million people, the money will follow, like you were saying. So I think that's the challenge, is like, should I feel guilty? Like, I want to charge this for this product, or do I feel guilty? Is this too expensive? Am I helping, or am I just about the money? And I think it's a balance, you know, because when you're providing a service, you do want to get paid for what you want to get paid for what you do and what your value is. But also too, I think entrepreneurship is a road less traveled. For anybody who is watching this or listening to this who is an entrepreneur, you know, there's ups, there's downs, there's good times, there's bad times, there's even worse times. You're challenged. And if you make it through it, you're like, yeah, I want to reward myself. Yeah. So yeah. And it's one last thing, you know, me and you are both into comic books and Marvel movies and all that type of stuff. And you talked about the cape and everything.
Yeah.
And I think about Spider-Man, you know, when his uncle said, you know, with great power comes great responsibility.
Oh.
And I think that's kind of what we're talking about now.
That's so true. I think, and I've heard something similar where it's like the crown, you know, that the crown is heavy for the king or something, like the crown.
Oh yeah.
Something, I don't remember the analogy, but it's not, but exactly what you said.
Basically, hey, I think it's from Black Panther.
Is it? All right.
I think it is. I think it's the dad says, you know, it's hard for a good king. It's the hardest for a good king or something like that.
Yeah.
And the road, the easy road is to have bad intentions. That's the easy thing to do. It's hard to want to serve people in business.
Yeah. And I think there's this balance too, right? So it's like, we talk about your target market, and, you know, not that I want people like me, but I want people who, I want to work with people who, it's not all about the money neither. Like there's a greater cause than that. And as I think about that, it's like, you know, when someone provides me value, right? So my guru person is Russell Brunson. When he's providing me so much value and serving, it's like, I feel obligated to give this guy money.
Yeah.
Like, I feel obligated. Like, you've helped me so much. Like, I have no other choice, right? And for you is Chris Do. I want to call him Chin. I don't like Chris Do. But Chris Do. The future, right? Yeah. It's like, he provides so much value in his YouTube stuff and all this stuff. He comes out with a course or a pamphlet or a template. It's like, it's almost like you're obligated to do it.
And it's crazy you say that, because I know that they're making money, and I know that they are in the premium price bracket. Like when they come up with their products, it's premium price. It's not like, we're going to make this, you know, we're going to bring this down for the little guy. No, they're like, if you really want to change your life, we got this thing, and it costs this amount. There's no bone in my body, there's no cell in my brain that thinks that they're not doing it for the right reasons. Like they brought somehow in their videos and their branding and in the way and the value they provide. I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that they're not sitting there counting their money. Like, oh, look at all this money. I know that they're like, oh, look at all these comments, people. We're changing people's lives. Yes, let's keep going. Like, I know for a factor like that. And I guess that's part of it too, is like, I guess how do you show that? Because I feel like that with Russell Brunson too, you know, like,
yeah,
he's not my guy, he's your guy. But since he's your guy and I've been looking up him more on YouTube, you know, I'm getting hit with all the Russell Brunson ClickFunnels ads, and it's him. He's sitting there in front of a camera talking to people, and I can genuinely tell like he wants to like people to change their life.
Right.
So
right. So for us going into business, like, and I think that's like another episode, right, where we talk about, all right, let's go into target market, because part of this podcast is giving people practical stuff that they can use
exactly
right now. But understanding that, at least that dynamic, like, so I went to the Arnold, right? And I had a friend there and this lady totally sold me. She got me. And it was like, she was into Russell Brunson. Like, I knew what was happening the whole time. But the whole point is, like, she delivered like an on point presentation, sales, whatever. I bought this thing. It was $500. Like, I haven't used it once. I've literally tortured my kids with it. Like, I got a video of that. So but the whole point is like, she sold me. Boom, I bought it. And then the next day, you know, my friend goes back and he talks to the guy and he says, I'll give it to you for almost $200 cheaper. I'll give it to you for $300. But he was taking, I got this whole big bundle, and he was offering a $300 without some of the attachments, right? So maybe that's why it's cheaper. Maybe it's not. I don't even know. But the point was, my friend, he like, he looked at me. He's like, oh, I'm not gonna let that guy make no money off of me. And I looked at him like, damn. And I said this word. I said, look, profit is not a bad word. You know, it's okay. Like, they have a product. They're in business. They can't give it to you for free or even at cost. It's okay that they made money. And I was okay with it because I respected the process. Yeah. And my friend's attitude was, I'm not going to let them make no money off of me. Even though he was giving it to him $200 cheaper. He said, I knew at that point, like, he can probably even go lower, and I'm not going to let nobody make no money off of me, make money off of somebody else. And, you know, he's my friend, but like, I would never want to work with him.
But see, also the flip side of that is, I feel like when people feel like that, it's because they feel like they're being sold.
Right.
And I do think there is a balance in that too, is how you sell somebody. I just know that, like, there's been times where, like, I felt like a salesman like was going above and beyond, and I knew he was selling me. And it's maybe because I respect the game. I would, like, you know, either decline, like, in the nicest way possible, and then say, hey man, you killing it. I just don't want it. Or sometimes, like you did, I would buy it, not for no $500, but you know, but I would say, no, I'll do this thing. But if it feels like they're selling me, like, I remember when me and my wife was going to buy a new SUV, and I remember, like, we were going to, like, look around. We said we're gonna go to multiple places. We're not making no decisions today. And the first place we went to, the guy had this really nice, you know, Ford Explorer. And I just remember feeling like he doesn't want us to leave. And then I said, you know, the tires are kind of bad on this thing, you know, but we're going to go look around. And he was like, no, okay. All right, what can we do for you guys not to leave? And I was like, well, I'll be honest with you, there's really nothing you can do, because we already told ourselves that we're going to look around. That's how we make decisions. We don't jump at nothing. He's like, no, we can figure this out. And I'm thinking, like, in this moment, he's trying to do what's best for him, not what's best for us.
You hit it on the nail. Go keep going. Keep going, preach, brother.
And I remember him just trying to, like, it was almost like desperation for him.
Yeah.
But it was like he wasn't putting us first. And there's two things about that. Number one is you should, whatever you're trying to do, whatever your service or product or offer or whatever it is that you do, how you make money, you should try to make it so good that people can leave and they'll want to come back, first of all. That's like first and foremost. If you have something that's so unique and you do it a different way, okay, yeah, go search, go look around, guys. We'll be here. First of all, that's gonna get me right there. The fact I'm like, this dude's he ain't thirsty.
Right.
But when I felt like he was making sure that his situation was better off than the people he's supposed to be serving, right?
Yeah.
When it became clear, I was like, we definitely. I don't care if it was the best deal ever. I don't care if it was I don't care if he gave us a car for $500. I would not do business with that guy at all. At that point, there's nothing he could have offered me. It's like he ruined the whole situation. Yeah. So I'm done with that story.
That's good, but I got a golden nugget for you. So when you were saying that, there's this guy called Myron Goldman, and he is so smart. Myron Golden. So you should look him up. But he said, one, people love to buy and people love to be sold. They love to be sold, right? So selling equals persuasion. Mm-hmm. But selling doesn't equal being convinced.
Yeah.
Right? So that salesman was trying to convince you to do something for his own selfish reasons.
Yeah.
And that's not the selling part of it.
Yeah.
So it was like, as you were saying that, I felt it was coming. I knew it because I heard exactly what you were saying. It's like, at the end of the day, like, yes, if I go to Tesla, I want to buy a Tesla.
Yeah.
Don't convince me to try to buy the model, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I want sold on the why. Tell me why. Give me all the features. Tell me why I would love it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Persuade me, but don't do it for your selfish reasons because you're trying to make more money off of me on the back end.
And I'll tell you how I'll be even more impressed. And I remember this from Apple. Is if you're not even asking me no questions, you're not trying to like dig deep and see like what my internal problems are of why I want this or why I wouldn't want this.
Yeah.
Because I just remember one of I think what blew my, like what changed my, if we can call it career at Apple, what changed it is when I realized that you can't sell an iPhone to a college student the same way that you would sell it to a grandma. Right. And there's this concept that I learned where you got the features and you got the benefits. So, 24 megapixel camera, battery that lasts, X amount of whatevers. And the benefits are, your grandson is halfway across the United States going to college. You can FaceTime him with the front-facing camera now. And it's like, I didn't talk about the camera quality or nothing. I just talk about, you can talk to your grandson.
Yeah.
It's like you ask questions and you figure out what's the things that this person cares about, they're nervous about, whatever. And then you take that product and you kind of tailor it to them, their needs.
Yeah.
And you said something earlier about target market. And I think that, whether someone walks into, a car dealership, like a Tesla dealership, and you could quickly identify what type of person they are. I just kind of feel like that's the same thing as, if you have a website and you say, I want to market to this type of person. I want to understand this type of person, because if I understand them and I bring them to life, then I feel like I'm really serving a real person, even though I don't know these people yet. I feel like I can kind of position these things so it feels like, okay, I'm serving you. This is in your best, what's going to work out for you. And I feel like it's the same thing as when somebody walks into an Apple store and I'm like, okay, this is a grandma. Let me talk to her. Let me target in. Let me zoom in on her and be like, okay, grandma, I see you. And then when she walks out, she's like, that nice young man, he knew exactly what I wanted. I mean, we're only selling like 5 different products. You know,
I think for like people who have services, people who are selling products, like ultimately you probably fell in love with it at some point, right?
Yeah.
So we talk about the iPhone, right? You brought up the iPhone. You know, you fell in love with the iPhone because it takes amazing pictures. Right now, but the problem is now we get so ingrained, especially working there, right? So you're working there, you're selling this product, you get so ingrained with the techno babble, right?
Yeah.
Of, well, not only like you stop talking about, you know, the pictures, the good quality of the pictures, but you're saying 24 megapixel dual action camera. And then people are like, what?
Yeah.
Like they have no idea, but in your mind, you're like, you start doing the techno babble because you think that's how people want to be sold. When really all you have to say is, look at this amazing picture. And they're like, oh my gosh, it's beautiful, right?
Yeah. It's that simple. Yeah.
Yeah, it's that simple. I think we forget like to, you know, I see it a lot, you know, I follow communities, right? And the Russell Brunson thing, it's like, you know, it's sales funnels and all this other stuff. It's like, I fell in love with that piece of it, not the, you know, ActionX MD and I can retarget on Facebook. No, it's like, man, I'm sending people through a process. That's what sold me, right?
Yeah.
So thinking about when I try to sell our services, it's like, I'm not going to be, I think those things come up, but later in the thing. But to me, what made the most sense to me is like the analogy of like walking into a Walmart store versus an Apple store. You know, you walk out into Walmart and you're there for one thing, but you have no idea where it is. And you're just frustrated and, you know, you're walking aimlessly, right? I say that you walk aimlessly and you have no idea where to go. Like it's so frustrating and you get mad. And people who are online that are looking for a service, and if it's your service and they're not going through the process of how you complete the sale, it's so easy to walk away.
Well, you know, it's so funny. We could tie it because me and you love storytelling.
All
like
day.
me and you love movies. Me and you love. I think you probably love Disney more than me, even though
for sure.
We both really love Disney. I just think we love the whole idea of just a great story. And they say that when you're out here doing business, and you're not the hero of the story, you're the guide.
Right.
And the person you're serving, the target audience that you are serving, they are the hero. They're the Luke Skywalker. You're the Obi-Wan Kenobi. So when you talk about walking into Walmart, you're walking into Walmart with no guide.
Right.
But when you walk into an Apple store, someone's there to greet you and they're there to guide you through the process. Then it's like, okay, well, you want something fixed on your phone or you want to buy a phone? Let me get you to the right person. And then they give you to the right person. And that person's supposed to guide you through. And that's why if your product is good, if your service is good, is what you offer, what you do is good. I feel like if you're just guiding people through it, it's so much, like you said, you're not trying to convince people. You know, you're not like trying to like trick them into making a decision. It's right. As you guide them through the process, they're like, oh man, this is like, oh yeah, I want. You can even tell sometimes when they want to buy it before you're done selling it.
Yeah.
And they say, you know, don't walk out of a sale. Like don't walk yourself out of a sale. Like you just be done. Like, hey, you want, okay, hey, let's get it out the back. Yeah, get a bag. So I just feel like a lot of times people want to be the hero. And they don't fall in love. They, like you said, they fall in love with their product or service. They don't fall in love with their target audience. And I think that is not, I don't think that that's instinctively easy to do when you think like, how do I fall in love with these people that I'm serving? Like how do I do that? And you used to have to do it. I remember that one presentation that you did like a long time ago. I think it was like 4 years ago when we were first started working together. And it was about, I don't know if you remember this. It was like a Prezi presentation, and it was like talking about how Kellogg's cereal.
Yeah.
There was like no competition, so they could just put it in your face, like, hey, buy this new cereal, and here's what it does. And there was no other options for like cold cereal in the morning. So it just like we didn't have to really do anything.
Right.
Now in 2019, where there's nothing new now. right?
Yeah.
There's like every idea has been thought of. I'll be honest, every idea has been thought of. Now what it's about is innovation. It's connecting old ideas and making something new out of old ideas, right? That's what it is.
Yep.
You have the only way you can survive, I feel like, is serving your target audience.
Yeah.
like you know, like that's like the only thing left, because now there's so much competition. There's like so much, you know. When I was watching that Tesla thing, people were like, it reminded me a little bit of how when Steve Jobs used to do his you know, those presentations or launching new products. Elon Musk came out. I'm pointing to over here to the TV because that's where I watched it on, but you guys don't know what I'm pointing at. But he walks out and people were like, "We love you," and he was like, "I love you guys too." Like, you guys don't know this. He literally said this. The CEO of this company literally said, and people could watch it to verify it. He said, "You don't know how hard this year's been. We almost didn't make it.
Wow.
But because of you guys supporting us, we made it, and we're gonna go, you know, go even further." And he's like, "I appreciate you guys. I love you guys." And to me, that's like, this is a multi-billion-dollar company.
Yeah.
A very smart guy, willing to come down to a very genuine, down-to-earth level and say, "I love you guys." You know what I'm saying? And I think when people want to be the hero, right? They want to be the super entrepreneur, the guy with the ear pods and with the Tesla driving around, you know, the guy with the cool haircut, and you know, he wants to be the smartest guy in the room all the time.
Yeah.
I just think it's dangerous. It's dangerous when you see these other guys out here, this running real companies showing you kind of like the model, you know.
Yeah, it's inspiring.
One last thing too. He said something that blew my mind. It's probably never gonna be one last thing people would get to know when they get to know the way me and you are. He said that he said, so he showed some articles from like 2011 from different like you know, Forbes magazine, different like prominent magazines saying electric cars are a waste of time. All these things hating on electric cars.
Yeah.
Then he was talking about how the you know, like Ford and some of the bigger Chevy, some of the bigger companies were like just being very difficult with Tesla. Like, not like they bought like a old factory from Ford or somebody, and they just were being so difficult, and they just made everything extra hard. And you know what Elon Musk did? He let basically everyone's doing electric cars now, like all the major you know, car makers, and he's giving them free information. He's putting out the free information on how to make an efficient car. You know why? Because he believes that electric cars are the future and people should have them. Yeah. He has a bigger purpose than just making the money, where he's even giving information to his competitors. That's how you know. That would make me afraid if I was Ford. I'm like, he's giving us the answers? Oh my gosh, he must be like 20 years ahead of us, and we don't even know. Exactly. He don't even care. He's like, y'all can't catch up. Here, y'all can have the blueprints.
It's so right. So that's great, because this brings it kind of full circle, right? So intentions. So have good intentions, right? Our intentions is to serve and bring value to people as much as we can. And, you know, at the end of the day, no one can really work for free, right? So we have bills and families and things like that. But know that for me, you know, I want to help people who also have the same intentions, you know, good intentions, because we need more people to, you know, I don't want to even see be as greedy, but like, you know, we need to have great intentions. So my friend Donnie checked me at the door. It totally like changed everything I was thinking of as far as like strategies and try to get money. And it's like, now it's like a whole new opportunity, because it's like, you know what? I'm just going to give the blueprint. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We're just going to give the blueprint. And that's one of the options is basically mapping out everything that we would do for you. And here's the blueprint. And if you want to do it yourself, do it yourself. If you need help, we can do it for you. But at the end of the day, like we are going to share all the secrets, and
Yeah.
we will help you.
Yeah.
So that's great. So how do we end this, D?
Well, this is the first one.
Yeah.
I think we just kind of say, see you later.
There it is. All
No,
right.
yeah, you know, people
See you
forgive
later.
us. They'll let us grow.
Yeah, let's give a call to action, right? Like follow us on Facebook, follow us on YouTube, you know, listen to the podcast. If people have questions, they can email us, go to our website, Elite Strategy.
Well, no, okay.
Go ahead. There it is.
Okay, yeah, no. Okay, I'm glad you brought this up. I just want to say that we're definitely trying to build a community. We're definitely trying to build a tribe. So, you know, one of the things I find that you can call us influencers, whatever you want to call us, right? Is a lot of times they're just trying to do all this stuff to get likes and followers and stuff like that. We're not doing that because I don't want to pander to people. You know, I want to find the right people. I want to find the right, like you said, people like us. So if anything we said in this first podcast, YouTube video, this is what we're going to be like all the time. We're going to be down to earth and honest. And if you want to be a part of it, we would love for you to be a part of it. And just like Michael said, it's like we want to have this be a dialogue. We want to have communication between us. So like, so what is the main communication? Let's just come up with one way where people can like communicate with us. Because I feel like, because there are two people, right? There's the people who want to follow what we're doing, and then there's people who want to work. They want to work with us. They may want to see what we can do for them. So maybe those people go to the website.
Yeah, EliteStrategyGroup.com.
Okay. So
and then we have like 3 different Facebook groups. So this is our first podcast, and this is how real it gets. We're gonna figure this out, and we'll get so you have to do the podcast too.
Yeah, no, for real. No, that's tight. We gotta be honest.
Hey, we had to figure that part out. We had to publish. That's all.
Yeah, we had to go. We had to start.
So and that's what some people need to do, right? Some people just get in, and then we figure out the problem. And
exactly.
That's it.
I always say, jump out the window and learn how to fly before you hit the ground.
Yes, I've hit the ground plenty of times.
Yeah,
I still get back. That's the crazy thing, right? Entrepreneur life. I hit the ground. It hurt.
Yeah.
Broke my neck. I got up back on the mountain. I'm doing it again because I'm gonna try to figure it out.
Especially when people see you hit the ground, you're like, "Oh, y'all saw that?"
That's okay. That's how real it gets.
But yeah.
All right. So
I'm done. I got nothing else to say.
We're finished. We'll come up with the way to follow us. Thank you for listening. Thank you for staying to the end. It's great. See ya.
See ya.
Don't know how to stop it.